In these problems, we're working on finding the areas of triangles. And the formula for the area of a triangle is the area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. And the height of a triangle is the only part that can be a little tricky sometimes. In a triangle like this one, it's pretty easy to see. It's an altitude that's dropped from the vertex at the top and makes a perpendicular with the bottom. So here's our base and here's our height. Calculating this is pretty easy. Area equals 1/2 times 24 times 4.2. If you plug that in your calculator, I think you'll get 50.4, and our units are yards, and since this is area, that would be square yards. Let's look at a slightly trickier one. We want to find the area of this triangle, but what is the height here? We know our formula is 1/2 the base times the height. If the base is 28 here, in a right triangle like this, the height is the same as this side. If you tried to find that top vertex and drop a perpendicular, it would coincide with that side. So that's the height. The height equals 21. So area equals 1/2 times 28 times 21. And that should be 294. And let's see, this is meters squared. There's one other situation you might have where you have a triangle that looks something like this. And in that case, how would you find the height? Maybe you know this base is 3. Well, if the diagram gave you something like this dotted side would be the height. So you might see something like that in other problems. Let's look at another one. This one says a triangle has a base of 6.9 centimeters. Okay, let's put that in. And an area of 102.3 square centimeters. So we have no idea what these other sides are, but we know that the area is 102.3. And we want to find the height. So there's some height to this thing, and we want to find that. Well, we'll just use the same formula. Area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. We know the area, so we'll put that in. That's 102.3. Then we've got 1/2. We know the base, that's 6.9. And we're looking for the height. So at this point, what we can do is take 102.3, multiply it by 2, same as dividing by 1/2, and then divide by 6.9. And what you should get when you do that is 29.65 centimeters. And since we're just finding the distance here, that's just plain old centimeters, not centimeters squared. All right, last one. This one says find the area of an equilateral triangle with side 12. So equilateral has all sides the same. So we've got a base of 12, right? But what's the height? Well, if we drop a perpendicular here, what you get when you split an equilateral triangle in half is two 30/60/90s. I've just cut this base in half here, so I've got 6 and 6. This side is 12, this side is 6. You could use the Pythagorean theorem to find out this side, or you can remember, since you know this angle is 60 degrees in an equilateral, this must be 30 if it's been cut in half. We've got a 30/60/90. So the sides are in the relationship of 1 to square root of 3. So the height here is 6 times the square root of 3. If you want to verify that by using the Pythagorean theorem, go ahead and do that. Once we've got our height, we can go ahead and plug it into the formula. Area equals 1/2 times the base, which is 12. Don't get confused now, because we had half of that side as 6 to figure out our height. The base here of the whole triangle is 12, times the height, which we figured out to be 6 times the square root of 3. And when you crunch the numbers on that, you should get 62.35. And it looks like they didn't give us any units here, so just units squared. So that's a little bit of work with the area of triangles.